I love beast mode, and I love his mentality, and I think that that is the kind of thing that is good for any football team, particularly one as quality as Seattle Seahawks, no question. And I will give mad love and respect to Marshawn Lynch from this perspective. 6 of the last 7 seasons he's played in the NFL, he's averaged better than 4 yards a carry. We keep getting that twisted. It's not like this brother fell off the map. I mean, 6 of the last 7 years, he has been running the football in the National Football League before he disappeared after 2018. This guy has averaged at least 4 yards a carry. So it's not a matter of that. I'm just saying that when you look at what Chris Carson gave you before he goes out with his hip injury, the three-headed monster that is Seattle with Carson, Proceeds, and Penny. More so Carson than anybody else because he's the one that's ran for over 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons, has 1,200 yards as we speak before he ultimately go down. The three-headed monster that they were, I don't think Marshawn Lynch makes up for that. If we're looking at one guy, and this one guy was running the football for them, and he's averaging 4 yards a carry, and we saying, yo, okay, all right, can Marshawn Lynch replace that guy for 2 games? We can't rule that out. But when I think of the three-headed monster that they are, and the kind of mileage that they put on those dudes, because I got 3 of them to lean on as opposed to 1, I don't know if Marshawn Lynch makes up for that. He's better than nothing. He's obviously quality, but I don't know how far I can go looking at the rest of the NFC, thinking how much of a difference he's going to make over 2 games. But I hope I'm wrong because I love him.
So I think Marshawn is going to be the difference. And I think so because I was looking at it last night. Everybody lauds Russell Wilson as a guy, and to a degree, rightfully so. But the Seahawks are a running team. Let's not get it twisted. Carson, he was 5th in the NFL in rushing. The Seahawks are a running team first. In their 4 losses, they only average 100 yards rushing. In their 11 wins, 158 yards rushing. Marshawn is the type of guy that can come in. He averages 4.3 over his career. Last year, he still averaged 4.2. Like Max, you said, if this was week 2, week 3, I'd be like, nah, I'm out. I don't want any parts of it. But all he needs to do is give you 4 or 5 games at the most. That's all you need.
I might not even say I'm out. I might still take him if that's the best I could do, but I wouldn't be sitting here saying he could be the difference.
Yep.
But at this time of year, see, I said this about Brady against the Bills. And this goes in the fight game. It goes in a lot of sports. A one-time great still a lot of times has it in him somewhere to be great in a moment again or over a game or 2. And Marshawn Lynch, I know he's not the greatest running back of all time, but on my all-time team, he might have a spot. And because there was something about him you wanted on your team almost more than anyone else when he was at his best.
And I think there's an emotional component. We all get it. Like, oh, Marshawn, he might give the Seahawks some juice. That's just the narrative that we try to create at times, right? If you're in the locker room, what does Marshawn actually do? Well, as a defender, now you got to respect the fact that beast mode is in the backfield. So the linebackers, they're going to play downhill a little bit more, which lets Russell Wilson eat. If Russ doesn't have a running game, his passing game is severely depleted. So Marshawn makes you as a defender say, oh, God, is this dude back? Is he for real, whether he is or not? Just the aspect of Marshawn plays a
having
factor.
a game plan for him, yeah. I mean, the other piece being down 3 running backs, I know that's major for Seattle, but on a positive note, it looks like they're getting Jadeveon Clowney back.
If you need a first down, like the thing about the beast quake, right, is the way Marshawn runs, it's an act of will, you know? And if you need a first down in a playoff game or to get home field in the playoffs, you can't do better than him right now anyway. But if there's a guy who might still give it to you, it's him.
Tell me this, Stephen A. Okay, so say, for example, you had Seattle booked to go to the Super Bowl with Chris Carson. Now with Marshawn Lynch, how much does that downgrade them? How much of a difference is it not having any of their starting backs?
I think that depends on Marshawn Lynch because we don't know what he's been doing. We know that he wouldn't be on the team if he wasn't in good enough physical condition, to be there. But in the same breath, as you well know, just because you're in shape don't mean you're in football shape. And what you can handle, I don't know the answer to that question because he hasn't been around. What I would tell you is that his heart, his moxie, all of that stuff, I absolutely love. And as much as I respect the hell out of Pete Carroll, and I got a lot of love for Pete Carroll, he and I have had conversations in the past. I'm very, very fond of him. But what he did and what Darrell Bevell did in that Super Bowl in 2015 against New England was unconscionable. To have Marshawn Lynch rush for 100 plus yards in that game, to have him make the plays that he did late in that game, to have him literally run from the 5-yard line to the half-yard line, and then to bypass giving him the football so I can throw across the middle pass from Russell Wilson to somebody is unconscionable, and they won't admit it. I'm telling y'all right now, there's going to be a book that comes out someday. I don't know whether it's by the Legion of Doom. It's going to be by somebody where everybody's going to go like this. There was no reason that should have happened. They gave the ball to Russell Wilson because they wanted Russell Wilson to be the hero, not beast mode. I happen to believe that's a big reason why he wanted to leave Seattle to begin with when he initially retired before he ended up coming out of retirement to go to Oakland. I don't care what anybody says.
That's like, there have been plenty of people who disagree with you. I'm on the same side of you here as you here, unfortunately. This is a debate show, but we agree about this. You give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. There have been plenty who have said, nope, a pass play was the right call right there. But the whole point about Marshawn Lynch, as I just mentioned, is if there's almost anyone who ever lived who you think you have a half yard to go, give it to him. Yeah. Even if they know it's coming, it's him.
Now, I will say this, though. They're going to need a lot more than a half yard.
That's right.
A lot more than 3 yards a carry to carry them to the Super Bowl. Because Stephen A. hit the nail on the head earlier on. Chris Carson was elite. Like, the dude was special. He wasn't just some run-of-the-mill back. He had 1,200 yards already this season. Marshawn Max is going to have to
But you may not win the Super Bowl, but it could be the difference between you getting knocked out in the first round and making a little run at least, winning a couple games. Oh, it makes a difference.
We won't have you here with us on Friday. What do you expect in this Niners-Seahawks game Sunday? Do you think Seattle can get it done?
I think the Niners get it done. The Niners are a little hungrier of a team to me. When you look at Seattle, the nucleus of Seattle, they got complacent. Now, this year we've seen the complacency dissipate. But earlier on, over the last several years, they've been complacent. When you look at the Niners, they're young, they're hungry, they're scrappy on defense. I'm not sold on Jimmy G. He's made some great balls last week. I get it. I'm not sold on Jimmy G. But Seattle as a whole, I think they're a little hungrier.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.